There's nothing more powerful. Imagine that. You've got a system inside of you that says, hey, I want to create this. I want to change this thing that I'm experiencing. My first invitation, see yourself as a very, very powerful creator of your experience. That's the most important thing. The reason this is so powerful is because if you've got something in your life you want to change, your body, your chakra system, your energy system can tell you what's happening in that part of your body, what's happening in that part of your life. And when you change it, not only do you start to feel different, but your life also starts to change if you see yourself as the creator of your experience.
Hi, Envisionaires. Welcome to the Envisionaire podcast. This is the podcast where we envision living our best lives by exploring everyday topics related to health, wealth, and community. On today's episode, we have Pooja L Dhiman, who is a senior leadership coach for women and minorities and focuses on mindset, unlocking the subconscious mind, as well as healing the body with energy and chakras. Pooja is an ex-city lawyer with plenty of personal experience working in high-pressured environments. She uses her extensive professional experience and her training as a coach to help professionals to be confident and lead in an authentic way. She uses a unique blend of science and ancient techniques to unblock the power and potential that we all have. Her list of very impressive clients that she has helped include Google, University College London, as well as Medtronic, just to name a few. Today, Pooja will be speaking with us about chakras and how we can use these energy centers to heal our bodies and better align our lives. Her passion for chakras is something I experienced personally when watching her YouTube channel, where she talks about this with so much passion and so much knowledge. I am super excited to welcome Pooja onto the Envisionaire podcast, where she's going to talk about everything chakras. So welcome, Pooja.
Hello, Nicole. Thank you so much for that awesome introduction. It's lovely to be here.
Oh, yeah, we're so happy to have you. This is a topic I think that we are all very, very interested in, and I'm sure everyone wants to dive in. But just before we do that, I would absolutely love to hear a bit more about your background. Maybe perhaps, your childhood, what got you into law, and then also how you moved from law into business and coaching and chakras.
It's quite a story, isn't it? Yeah. Not very typical, right?
Yeah.
For a lawyer to go from being a lawyer then to being a chakra coach, right?
Love it. I love it.
I'm born and raised in London. I'm Indian, of Indian origin, and I'm Punjabi. So Punjabis are quite passionate, fun-loving. That's the stereotype. And I think I fit a lot of those stereotypes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I grew up in a part of London that's known as Southall. So very Indian, grew up watching Bollywood movies. Like I was very immersed in the culture growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not so much in the spiritual side, more in the kind of cultural side. So yeah, grew up in Southall, a normal child of immigrants. So I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that, right? What it was like coming from like an Indian background, but living in a culture that we didn't really know, right? That was kind of new to our parents and ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, grew up in London, normal London, inner city London kind of upbringing. And I was never I was someone that was always very creative as a child, right? But all of this stuff, chakras and spirituality and all of those things, I wasn't raised with at all.
Okay.
It was like part of my culture, but it's not something that our family were hugely big on.
Okay.
So I was very encouraged into academics, like the majority of us, right?
Yeah.
Be really good at school, do really well, forget being creative, right?
Right.
Do all those things that, are going to make you lots of money. So I kind of did the typical thing. I did well at school, went off to university, and went into a legal career, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Quite honestly, not really knowing what I was getting into, right? I'm probably going to age myself now when I tell you that I watched Ally McBeal
Oh, yeah, I did, but I didn't really fully understand it. But yeah, I did too.
Right?
Yeah.
And I honestly thought that was what being a lawyer was like.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
So
like a little baby too. Like
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went into law kind of completely blind, not knowing what I was getting into. And nothing against the legal profession or legal careers. And I take my hat off to people who love the law. It really wasn't necessarily for me. Right. And I knew that quite early on.
Yeah.
So I went into law and I realized quite quickly I wasn't actually really fulfilled and I wasn't being my complete self when I was working as a lawyer. Yeah, really. Interestingly, I knew quite early on that this is not the thing I'm supposed to do. I had this strong feeling that my potential is not being fulfilled. I'm not doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing. Right.
Okay.
So outwardly, I looked very successful. Right.
Yeah.
Outwardly, I had a great career. Outwardly, I had money, I had status, I had all the things that I'd chased my whole life. But internally, I just was completely unhappy. I just knew I wasn't doing the thing I was supposed to do.
Was there, sorry, can I interrupt? Was there
Of
like a
course.
moment, especially like I've looked at your background and I understand that you were at Slaughter's, which is a very prestigious law firm. And was it kind of when you were working in the thick of it, you know, private practice, and you were just like, or was it something you discovered at law school? Like, when was it that you were like, I'm not sure?
Yeah, great question. I actually really enjoyed studying law. I thought that was quite fun. So there was Ally McBeal, which I thought looked fun, studying law that I thought looked fun. So I was like guns blazing when I went into a firm.
Yeah.
And actually, when I started doing the work, I very quickly realized, I think it was probably in the first few weeks.
Okay. Wow,
like,
really? First few weeks?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Wow. You know what it was? I just felt like, I just knew that there was a part of me that was really people orientated. I loved psychology. I was creative, all of those things. And I knew that in that environment and doing that role, which, you know, as you know, you're drafting documents, you're doing something where you're not interacting with people. So for me, my value, right, of connection, of service, all of those things I really, really wanted to live and express were not being expressed in my role. And I knew quite early on that this just isn't fun, right? It just wasn't fun for me. And I tell you something, Nicole, I used to see other people doing this work and loving it. Loving it. And I would think, what's wrong with me? Like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Right? So anyway, so that started me off and started me thinking, you know what? I need to find my purpose. And I tell you, I don't know why, I was determined to find my purpose. I was determined to find the thing that was going to make me happy. Yeah, I was like, I have to find my purpose. Like, my soul is here to express itself and do something interesting. What is that thing?
Yes.
Right? I really need to find it. And so I tried everything. I tried loads of different things. I actually even had a radio show at one point.
Did you? I didn't know this, Pooja.
I know, you didn't know. I did. I had a radio show. I thought I'd be a script writer. I ran another fashion business. I did loads of different things. And actually, it always kept coming back to, I love people, I love psychology, and I love things that help people be better humans.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything that
being
can
of service.
Yes. Anything that can help people become better, because I was really I just believe in human potential so much, and I believe that if we leverage what we have inside of us, we can become so powerful. Right?
Wow.
And it was such a motivator for me, because I was like, well, if I can help people feel empowered, we'll solve a lot of problems. Right? So that was the thing that kept driving me. So every time I tried something, I was like, nah, this is what I care. I care about people, and I care about helping people harness their power.
Yeah.
So because I was going on my own journey and I was struggling myself and I didn't know what to do, I tried everything. And in the end, it was like, I can't keep looking outside of myself. I have to go within. Right?
Wow.
I had to go within.
Yeah.
I was reading all these books that were saying to me, you know what, meditate, meditate, meditate. And I avoided it like the plague, actually, because I thought, what if I start seeing spirits, and what if like anything weird happens? And I was really scared. Like, I was really scared of meditation. But I decided, actually, the answers, I kind of knew at some level the answers to my life's problems are inside myself. I
Wow.
knew that.
But like, what was that? Like, was it a book? Was there one book in particular, or was there an experience that happened? Like, how did you come to that realization?
Two things happened. Okay. Two weird things happened.
I love it. Tell us. Yes.
The first thing, I happened to meet, I had an intuition to meet a friend who I hadn't seen for years. Met her for a drink, and out of her bag there was a book. I could just see the top of this book.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And I was like, something about that book is just getting my attention. And the book was called this is where you have to bear with me, okay? Because this is all like very spiritual stuff, and people might be listening and going, okay, no. What is this?
Envisioners love this stuff. They're so like holistic and open-minded. So please tell us.
Fantastic. So Envisionaires, you are my people then. Amazing. Yes. So the book was written by someone channeling a spirit called Sanaya Roman. And the book was called Personal Power Without Awareness.
Okay, right? Wow, I haven't heard of it.
It's a brilliant book, and I didn't even know what it was, right? So this book called my attention. I picked up this book, and this book started talking about how we are like, human beings are like a radio. We transmit a frequency, okay? Yes. We're all going around transmitting a frequency. We're picking up the frequencies of others. Yeah. And I'd never heard that concept before, okay? And in that book, she talked about meditation. So that was the first experience. I bought the book, I read the book. Wow. But that book was like, you've got to start meditating. Right. So then I did it. So the second experience, I sat down, I wanted to solve this life problem of mine, this purpose thing that I was determined to solve. I sat down to meditate. And the first time I sat down to meditate, I felt an intense spinning in my body.
Really?
An intense spinning.
Wow.
Now imagine, I'm a lawyer. I need evidence.
Right? Yes.
I'm not a spiritual person at this point. Okay. I've just picked up a book. I've meditated for the first time. So I sat down and I closed my eyes to meditate. Didn't know what I was doing. This spinning started happening, and I opened my eyes. I looked down because I thought my body must be doing something. Nothing was happening. It was nothing. My normal body, and I felt this intense spinning.
Wow.
And I just thought, gosh, I know about my physical body. I know about my organs. I've learned about that in school. I know about all of these things. What is this?
Yeah.
What part of myself is this that's spinning out of control? I'm feeling this intense thing, and why have I never been taught about this? Right?
Yeah.
I can see your face. That's exactly how I felt.
I'm trying to think like, wow, like, so you're spinning, but like when you open you're not meditating, you're back into, but like when you go inwards, you're feeling like, was it out of control? Was it feeling
I wasn't in control of it. Right?
Interesting.
So I went from someone who only believed in what I could see and touch and had learned in school, right, about the body, to being someone who started to go, you know what, there is something else going on that we can't see, because I felt it today so strongly that there is something in me. There is something, some energy. What is this energy? I got curious about it. Okay. Now looking back now, I know that was my solar plexus. And I know my solar plexus, solar plexus had too much energy. So that's the energy center which sits just above the navel.
Okay.
So you imagine where your digestive system is.
Yeah.
So I realized then that was my solar plexus, which actually had far too much energy in it. And it was kind of balancing that energy through meditation the minute I took my attention there. So I know now that's what was happening. And at the time, now
Wow.
everything I know now just kind of makes sense. So that's what kind of got me started. And I was like, okay, I get it, universe. You're trying to send me a message here that there's something more going on.
Yeah.
Then I started meditating. And that was about over 15 years ago.
Wow.
I got deeper and deeper into meditation. I trained to be a meditation teacher. Then I trained as a coach. And actually, I realized combining coaching, meditation, and chakras, like it creates this beautiful system of empowerment for humans.
Amazing.
So that's how I got here. It was not by design, completely by accident. Yeah.
But isn't there this thing that like there is no such thing as an accident? So maybe it was
Yeah.
all part of the plan. Pooja.
I think it was. I think it
Yeah.
was. I think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
But I think the thing I would really like to sort of emphasize here is that
Mhm.
sometimes people think, oh, someone's a life coach or someone might be into chakras. Oh, they're kind of doing this because I don't know, you never know what someone's motivation is, right? You may make assumptions. I honestly can't stress to you how difficult it was for me as a lawyer with a professional reputation, okay, to take myself into the world to talk about chakras.
Yeah.
See, which at the time was seen as quite a woo-woo topic, right? People use that word. So it was very scary for me to talk about this topic, knowing that people might start to ridicule me.
Yeah.
And start to see me as someone who's just talking crazy talk because science hasn't proved chakras exist. Right?
Yet. Well, no, I think they have now. I think they are now. But anyway, yes, I agree with that. And so how did you overcome that? How did you find the courage to actually start pursuing it and actually start saying, yes, I can teach about this. And yes, how did you get over the judgment, the fear of the judgment, the fear of the rejection? How did you get over that?
Yeah. I think for all of us, I think it takes a really long time, actually. It's not just a once and done thing. You can't just say to yourself one day, right, I'm letting go of the fear and the judgment, and tomorrow I'm going to be gung-ho and all about it. I did go on a bit of a journey. I started to reveal this side of myself quite slowly, actually. And actually, the voice inside me just got, the more I meditated, the more I connected with myself. It was almost like every sign was pointing to, girl, you are here to share this knowledge.
Wow.
Nothing else you do is going to work.
Wow.
Because I can talk to the world about so many topics, right?
Yeah.
But the minute I talk about chakras, it's almost like something just shifts in the air.
That is amazing. I see, and I know I've seen it because I've seen your YouTube videos, and I'm like, this is like amazing. She's taking what can be sometimes like a misconstrued or, very, I don't know, different topic. And she's not only is she just telling you about it, she's giving you the background. She's telling you sometimes the history of it, what it means historically. Oh, and also like, what you can do with this knowledge. I mean, it's just so, and you are excellent in your YouTube. I love them. So I watch them all the time. Yeah. They're good.
Thank you so much.
So go check them out in
Yes,
Visionaries. No doubt.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that chakras is a thing. That's why I knew I had to have you on to talk about it. I had to.
Thank you so much. And I'm delighted to share this with your community. I really am, because I feel like people sometimes talk about chakras. There are some amazing teachers out there and they know so much more than me, right? Of course. However, I do feel I've got something to offer this space, and I do feel people like me and you, like we're professionals, ex-professionals, right? But we can use this knowledge.
Oh yeah.
This knowledge it's not just for people who are mega spiritual or who are only in India. It's for all human beings.
Yes. That's what I love about it.
Right?
I love about it.
Yeah.
And I think your approach is it would be so welcomed by so many different people. Yeah. Well, let's get into the topic of chakras then, okay?
Let's do it.
I think a lot of people sometimes get confused, or they have their preconceived notions that it has a specific, usage only in one culture or one religion. So maybe we can start with chakras and their origins, and then we can talk about, exactly what they are and how they can be utilized by humans, everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, they are. It's a part of every human being's system, and that is it. The way we learn about the human body and the organs and all of those things, that's universal, right? Across cultures, across borders, across religions. This is exactly the same. Okay? You learn about this system of energy that runs through your body, and one size fits all. We all have this system. And that's it. That's all we need to remember.
That's it. We're done.
So people do get a bit confused. I mean, it tends to be the Eastern cultures generally that have spoken about chakras, and my expertise is within the Vedic tradition, which is like pre-Hinduism, but effectively the Hindu tradition. Yeah. But I personally am, we don't have to lead with religion, because I feel like this is so much bigger than that. I feel like this is just a system of energy that we can all use and apply to actually make ourselves feel better, more empowered, and feel like we are creators. We are creating our life. That's the most important thing. We create our life. We create our experience. Okay, so a little bit of the history. Okay, so chakras were written about first, apparently, 1500 BC. Okay, yeah, first written about. So that was, now think about, that's like 3,500 years ago they were written about, but we think they were discovered even before that. Okay, so possibly over 4,000 years old, and written about in these spiritual texts known as the Vedas. Yeah, and the Vedas were just texts recording knowledge. Veda means like knowledge, and so that's where they come from. Yeah, and over the years, they've been incorporated into different cultures, religions, and people have made it their own and put their own spin on it, but it's all the same. Right? It's all the same system of energy. And it's used for healing. It's used for understanding yourself, diagnosing various physical illnesses, right? You can use this system for that. But you can also use it, and this is kind of where I'm taking this work, is to use it to really understand and reprogram the subconscious mind, right? Because this system lets you know what's happening in your subconscious mind. Okay. Yes. Yes. Powerful. Exactly. That's kind of the history. So written about nearly 4,000 years ago, have been used for billions of people over this time, and a system of energy that applies to every single human being. Yeah. The word chakra means wheel or circle.
Okay, yeah.
So would it be helpful for me to just explain the system, Nicole? Like, yeah.
Yes, please. You mean like the 7 points? The 7? Oh, I've been reading.
Oh, yay! I love it.
I just joking,
Nicole.
But yeah, it's the 7.
I love it. Well, I mean,
I defer to the expert,
of course. Yeah, we have this channel of energy, right, running through the body, pretty much along the spine. There's 3 channels. We have the left channel, the right channel, and the middle channel. So when you think about DNA, and DNA is like a rope, isn't it? Like twisted up. So these channels are kind of like twisted like that. So think of it as like a rope. So almost like a rope, a system of energy that runs along your spine. Okay. And these 3 kind of energetic columns, where they intersect, we get a chakra. Yeah.
Okay.
So imagine 3 rivers. Yeah, maybe that's another way.
Okay.
And where they intersect, because it's energy, not water, where they intersect, we get a chakra. Yeah. So we get like a spinning of energy, we get a vortex of energy. And we have I think they say there's 114 in the whole body, but actually the 7 main energy centers are the ones that we typically know about. So they are the root center at the tailbone. The second one up is known as the sacral. This is the English words, right? So we'll say root is Muladhara. Sacral is known as Swadhisthana. Solar plexus is known as Manipur. We have the heart center known as Anahata. The throat center known as Vishuddhi. Ajna is the third eye. And then Sahasrara, is the crown. So those are the 7 main points. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Each of these centers relate to life areas, right? Areas of a human being's life.
Okay, yeah.
They relate to parts of the body. So that chakra will govern the organs, the nerves, and the body, the physical, the limbs, everything, whatever's in that region. And really importantly, that chakra will hold your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions about that life area that it governs. Yeah, so an example.
Wow.
Let's go with the solar plexus. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where your kind of digestive system is. The one I said was spinning out of control for me. That chakra governs your self-esteem, your will, your confidence. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Really?
Your ability to get stuff done.
Interesting.
Okay. So if you are feeling underconfident, imposter syndrome, procrastination, all of that stuff will be held in that part of your body. Yeah? Like all of those emotions, and like if you imagine yourself when you feel a lack of confidence, you'll often feel it in that part of your body.
Yes, that's why I was like, wow, I'm thinking back to times and I feel it. Yeah, exactly. And the anxiety comes there too. Anxiety. Yeah.
I'll feel it in my gut, we often say, right? I feel it in my gut. So the reason this is so powerful is because, well, if you've got something in your life you want to change, your body, your chakra system, your energy system can tell you what's happening in that part of your body, what's happening in that part of your life. And when you change it, not only do you start to feel different, but your life also starts to change if you see yourself as the creator of your experience.
I love that. That's great. That's so empowering. Right?
There's nothing more powerful. Imagine that. You've got a system inside of you that says, hey, I want to create this. I want to change this thing that I'm experiencing. I can actually just go within, shift my consciousness around it. And when I shift my consciousness around it, my actions will change. The way I present myself will change. And then what I get back from the energetic field will change. Yeah, we're interacting with cosmic consciousness. So when we do that, what we get back will change. Now, people are into law of attraction these days. This is law of attraction on steroids, if I'm allowed to say that word, right?
Yeah, of course.
But it is, right? Law of attraction. It's the roots of the law of attraction, actually. And the law of attraction. So the law of attraction works for you so much more powerfully if you work with your energy rather than your thoughts.
Oh, Pooja, that's a good one. That is good. That's really good.
I see this system, like understanding this system now and understanding ourselves. So I would say for anyone listening who's like, whoa, that's a lot of information. Yeah. Like, what do I do with that? Right? My first invitation, to people, see yourself not as a victim of your life. Okay? See yourself as a very, very powerful creator of your experience. Because if you see yourself as the creator of your experience, you will start to understand that whatever is happening around you is a reflection of what's going on inside. And then you can 100%. Use that information to then shift, adjust, balance the chakras, work with the energy inside.
Incredible. Yeah, so good. So good. So on that point, how would one, when you say reflecting, is it using meditation? Is it going for a walk? Is it just going quiet into a, like how would you recommend?
Yeah. Great question. So I would say that if you're worried or wondering which of your chakras might be blocked or imbalanced, two things I would say to start with. We can either look at it via life area, okay? A life area that's not working for you. Or we can look at it as your physical body. Which parts of your physical body do you not feel very happy with? Is there pain? Is there discomfort? Is there stiffness? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And those two will give you the information about which of your energy centers has problems. So
Wow.
we can carry that through as an example. I'll give you a story. So a friend of mine, a friend of mine once came to me and he was hobbling about on his ankle. He'd hurt his ankle. And he came in, he was on crutches. And I said, "What happened?" And he said, "Oh, I fell over. I was on a night out and I'm on crutches now." And one of my fundamental beliefs is that when the body kind of manifests something, there is a spiritual cause. So based on what I'm saying, so I know ankles relate to the root chakra. Okay. Now, root
Mm-hmm.
chakra, the life areas that the root chakra governs are home, finances, stability, all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said to him, "What's going on at the moment with your home? How do you feel about your home?"
Wow.
And he was like, "Oh my God, that's so weird you say that. Currently, my lease is up for renewal and I'm really stressed about where I'm going to live.
Wow.
I don't feel at home in myself," he said.
Oh.
I know. And I said, "Right."
Yeah.
I said, "You have an imbalance in your root." Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So your root
Yeah.
chakra, because it's imbalanced, it means possibly he was walking and he was feeling unbalanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Mm-hmm.
fell and then he hurt his ankle. Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't feeling grounded. So
Wow.
that happened to him, and then we had this really interesting conversation. He then ended up finding a place to live. The ankle healed, right? And he hasn't had problems with it since he's felt at home. Yeah.
Wow.
So isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Okay, so Pooja, it's funny because I feel like whenever I've been having bad experiences, maybe like the lack of confidence and so on, and I'm like putting all the pieces together now, I tend to gain weight around my stomach.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously some people would say, well, that's just cortisol because da da da. But I'm also wondering, maybe it's the solar plex, right?
So where around the stomach?
Like around the navel, like the
Yeah.
the navel, the belly button.
And is it
like a band?
Yeah, is it below the belly button or above the belly button?
I would say kind of both. More probably below the belly button.
Yeah.
But maybe also slightly above it too.
Okay. So this is a brilliant example. Okay. So this one, because it could be one of the two. It could be the sacral, it could be the solar plexus. Okay. So we have to investigate a little bit. So
okay.
Let's go deeper with that. When you think about that part of your body, okay, and you may want to close your eyes. When you think about that part of your body, just connect to that part of your body. How does that part of your body feel? Just use the words that come to mind. You might want to put your hand on that part of the body. How does it feel?
It feels stagnant.
Right. No, that's a great word.
It feels stagnant is what it feels. Yeah.
It feels
stuck.
It feels stagnant and stuck. Okay. And if that part of the body could speak to you or say anything to you, what would it say to you?
You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta push past the stuff that's keeping you stuck.
Beautiful. Okay, so I'll invite you now to just open your eyes. Right, that's all the information we need. I tell you why. This is fascinating.
I love this that we're doing this.
Yeah,
listeners are gonna find this funny
because it
may be helpful.
Yeah, because so this is the sacral chakra. Okay. Because the sacral chakra, so all of the chakras are governed by an element and by a sense, so they're all linked. So the sacral is connected to water, to movement, and to the flow of life.
Okay.
Going in and coming out, going in and coming out, going in and coming out, just like the waves of an ocean. So the minute you say stagnant and it wants to move, I know it's the sacral chakra.
Wow. Okay.
So the sacral doesn't have enough energy. Each chakra, it can have either too much energy or too little. When it has too much, right? When it has too much, it's not good. And when it has not enough, it's not good. When it doesn't have enough, we tend to start gaining weight. in that area.
Right. Really?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
So what you would benefit from here in this instance is yoga, first of all, meditation if you can on the sacral, but also yoga to open up the hips, to open up the sacral area and strengthen the muscles around that. Dancing, moving the hips, shaking them about. And really importantly, I'm going super advanced for your listeners, so hopefully I don't lose you, but I'll just stay with me.
They're going to love it. Yeah.
One little tip. The sacral is blocked. Each chakra has a shadow. Yeah. A shadow quality.
Yeah.
What the shadow quality for the sacral is guilt.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yes.
So that may or may not resonate with you. I'll let you take that away and keep that for yourself personally. And it may be true for other people listening. If you carry weight around that area and you feel a lot of guilt, release the guilt.
How?
Okay.
Pooja, help us.
One little tip. If you tend to go into pleasing behavior, start to establish some boundaries. Okay. And have boundaries for yourself to protect yourself. Also, when you eat your food with true gratitude. Never feel guilty about anything you put in your mouth when you're eating, because the sacral again is related to taste.
Interesting.
Enjoying our food and the pleasures of life. Okay.
Okay.
So that was a little one-to-one deep dive with you.
I love it. Now listeners know. I mean, I was going to wait until the end, but Pooja does some one-on-one coaching, and she's actually offering all the listeners a very special offer. So I'm going to talk about that at the end. But basically, she does these one-on-one coaching sessions, and wow, I mean, I can say now, I can attest to it. It's incredible. There's so much knowledge there and so much intuitive understanding.
Yeah.
That's how I felt just now. So I think that's excellent.
Wonderful.
And I'm sure we'll chat about it, I'm sure, another time, but that is really fascinating. And I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So now we know there are different exercises that we can do if our chakras are blocked or we're feeling like that. So that's really good. How can we, let's say we wanted to continue to work on our chakras. Let's say we feel, we're feeling good. We're feeling a good place. Let's say we've worked with you or we've worked in ourselves and we've kind of, been able to clear our chakras. How do we keep up to make sure we're constantly in flow and keeping our chakras safe?
Tip top. Yeah. Well, it's just like the human body. Yeah. It's not a once and done. We have to keep things in balance. It's a system. A system needs balance. Okay. And life will keep happening to you. Things are going to keep happening to you. Thoughts will change. Consciousness changes. So we have to keep up with our practices, such as regular meditation. Yeah. Something you do with yoga, like even a simple yoga routine every day, is super helpful. Spending time in nature. Really crucial for your chakra system. Crucial. Yeah. So what I would say is usually when people come to this work for the first time, they notice one chakra really needs a lot of work. So I would say start there. It's usually one of the bottom three. Start with the one that you feel needs some work at the beginning. Yeah. Balance that out. You may then find your attention goes to another one and you want to focus on that one. If not, and you're starting to feel really balanced, then I would say to kind of keep up, it's like physical fitness. To keep up your physical fitness, what do? You work out every day, right? Or 2-3 times a week. So 2-3 times a week, alongside your physical practices, your physical exercise, incorporate some meditation where you're checking in with your system. How am I feeling? What's happening in my energy system? How am I connecting to my energetic being?
Yes.
Have a system that you use. Or yoga, do yoga. But here's the biggest thing I want people to understand. There's a big difference between doing yoga mindlessly, going through the asanas, or doing yoga with intention. Okay? When you do your yoga, when you do your meditation, you have to do it as like a prayer to yourself. Yeah. Like,
I've never even, yeah, that's really good advice. I never thought about it, like intentional versus non-intentional.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
So doing it, so if you do your yoga, even if you do a very simple posture like the mountain pose, if you do that with awareness and a bit of a prayer, hey, root chakra, I'm doing this for you. I want you to support me. I want you to ground me. I want you to really hold me in this life. You do a mountain posture with that intention, your root chakra immediately starts to feel balanced. So it's the intentionality. Oh. Intentionality is everything.
Amazing, Pooja. That is such great advice. Thank you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Well, I'm conscious of time. So, I mean, because it feels like we could chat all day about this. So, again, you just are so good when you talk about, I mean, you're good in everything you do, but I love talking to you about chakras. It's fascinating.
Thank you.
But we are moving to the towards the end of this episode. We'll have to have you back on again. But now we are reaching the Envisionaire questionnaire. And this is a fun feature of the Envisionaire podcast where we ask guests to actually reflect themselves in the past, in the present, and looking forward. So, are you ready?
I'm ready. That's my ready face.
Yeah. Okay, so looking back towards your younger self, if you could give your 15-year-old self any advice, what would it be and why?
Great question. Trust your instincts above anything else and anyone tells you, because you know what? You know deep down what you're meant to do. Don't take people's advice. Trust yourself above everyone.
Yeah. Love that. So true. So true. I wish I had also, learned that. I also think that I've actually started meditation a couple of years ago because my mom she had been like, I was so stressed when I was in private practice, like always, especially as an NQ, it was like spinning around, like out of control. And my mom, she's very good. She said, you should really start meditating. And I was like, what? No, like, whatever. And then, a year after, she'd always be like, just a gentle reminder, meditation. And I'd be like, whatever. Right. But now I actually started doing it. And it was like, oh my God, where has this been my whole life? Where has this been? It's one of the best things. What I feel like it does, it allows you to tap into your intuition.
100%.
It totally allows you. And whenever I have really difficult decisions or I'm really contemplating big life things, I always go in. I do that. And like, time to meditate, let me just, and it's amazing the answers that you get from the intuition.
Mama knows. Mama knows. That's great advice.
Mamas know. They know, right? Okay, reflecting in the present moment. If you could seek advice from anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Oh, I have so many people. So many. Oh, so many, Nicole. That's a great question. I think actually, right now, I would have actually said Oprah, but I'm going to give you something different because I bet people always say Oprah. I actually would say Mindy Kaling. Right?
I love her.
Same.
Love her.
Same.
Just like all around everyone. Like,
same.
Everything.
Same.
Okay, and why would you?
Because I feel like Mindy, like despite all the barriers, she's just so positive. She backs herself. She's hilariously funny, and she has smashed it in an industry that's so hard to smash, right? Where everything's against you. And I feel like I'm doing something quite new and innovative, which people might not understand in a similar way. And if I could spend an hour with her and get her advice, I would literally, I'd be like, what would she tell me to do?
Like, what would Mindy do?
What would Mindy do? Because Mindy, I get the impression she gives no beeps. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. But in a nice way.
In a lovely way.
Right? Like, I love people, but like, if we're talking about women, like that, they can be so, direct, but in a nice way, like 100%. In a kind way.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect. You're my type of girl. You know?
Yeah. Like you could be friends with her. I feel like I could hang out with her and be friends with her.
I know. And you know who else I also love, who's kind of similar? Reese Witherspoon.
Yes.
I am like, I'm convinced that Reese and I would be like BFFs.
You
like,
definitely would.
We just don't know each other yet. We just have to meet.
That
sounds crazy.
You would. No, let's make this happen. Me, you, Reese, and Mindy. I think we need to go on holiday.
Yeah, oh my God. That would be the perfect girl squad.
I mean, yeah, I bet you they want to be friends with us too. I
think so too. Like,
waiting.
we're pretty, we have a lot to bring. Okay, future looking. What's one goal that you would like to achieve in the next 5 years that you want to share with us?
Yeah, there are many. Actually, it's good if I say it because it holds me accountable too.
Yes, that's what I love about it.
Yeah, I want to write a book.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Would it be on chakras or would it be on your life?
Definitely.
Yes.
Chakras, definitely. Yeah. Definitely chakras, to share my perspective and my knowledge on this subject. And I've never been one of those people who's actually wanted to write a book. But now, as you can imagine, I'm around a lot of circles with spiritual people, very spiritual people, right? And some of them have even said to me that they think I'm going to write a book. So I feel like it's been thrust on me, and I'm like, okay, I better say it on your podcast so that the envisionaires can hold me accountable and be like, Pooja, where's that book?
Yes. Well, we're going to be waiting. I'm going to be waiting to buy it. Oh. No, that's a good one. You know, my dad always used to say that God speaks to us in like using different channels. Yeah. And sometimes I feel like if someone, and there's like a theme of people externally telling you to do something or advising you to do the same thing, that's a sign that you actually probably should kind of 100%.
100%. So, 100%. Yeah. I'm a big believer in no coincidences, no synchronicities, and all these things are signs.
Yeah, totally. Amazing. Well, thank you, Pooja, for being part of the Envisionaire podcast and sharing your wealth of knowledge on chakras. And thank you also for that exercise that we did. That was really beautiful. And I am going to really focus on that area, the sacral chakra, and I need to focus on that. But you were really spot on when you picked up on that. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
Oh, well, for anyone interested, the Envisionaires, if you're interested in connecting with Pooja, learning more about her coaching, the work she does in chakras, please, I would say definitely check out her YouTube video. It's her name, Pooja, and then space L, space Dhiman, such as DHIMAN. Her website is also PoojaLDhiman.com. So Pooja, POOJA, and then L, and then D for David, HIM for mother, AN.com. And her LinkedIn and her social medias, but I'll also leave all those links in the show notes. And the special offer she is giving Envisionaires only, which is so cool. She's giving us 20% off all of her coaching products on her website. And that includes a one-on-one, 1 hour and 15-minute call with her to talk about chakra abundance activation. So you probably got a little sliver of it today, but that feels very, very exciting that she would be able to do that with you one-on-one, which is very, very cool. And she's giving you, so 20% off. All you have to do is put in the code ENVISION. So ENVISION. So make sure you use that code, 20% off on her website.
Thank you.
Yeah, so go check it out, Envisionaires. And I just want to thank you again, Pooja. Really appreciate you being on our episode and this podcast, and hope we can have you on again. We can do a deep dive into like other chakra areas.
Yes.
I think people would really appreciate that. So thank you so much again.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been lovely to be here, and I'm so pleased that the Envisionaires are interested in this subject. Just go forth, discover your energy system.
Perfect. Love that. Okay, mwah, lots of love.
If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit subscribe and check out this video here.